Every great story starts with the rush of thrilling gaming action. Handcrafted flavors, eager to please. Getaways for some well-deserved me time. And rewards worth bragging about. If it's a story worth telling, it starts at La Berge Baton Rouge. What's your story?
The biggest sale of the year is happening right now during Happy Honda Days at Team Honda. For a limited time, make no payments for 90 days on every new Honda. That's right, you choose and make no payments for 90 days at Louisiana's #1 Honda dealer, Team Honda on Segan Lane.
Visit Treads & Care Tire Company's new location on Hooper Road in Central. Locally owned for over 50 years, Treads & Care is known for quality automotive repair and top-notch customer service.
I'd like to invite you to come out and see us at our new location in Central.
No one can stop me when I taste the feeling. Nothing could ever bring me down. Nothing could ever bring me down. Taste the feeling.
Hello and welcome as we start the Tuesday edition of the Clarence Bug Show. Here's hoping all is well with you and yours in your little slice of South Louisiana heaven since the last opportunity we had to spend a little time with you and yours at the end of last week. As we typically do, we start today's show with Louisiana news, and we now have a Democrat in the race to be the next governor of the great state of Louisiana. Former head of the Department of Transportation and Development, Dr. Shawn Wilson, announcing that he will, in fact, toss his hat into the ring. We kind of all knew this was coming after he resigned from that position, I guess maybe a month, give or take, here or there ago. And all speculation now has come to an end as he has officially made the announcement. I have interviewed Dr. Wilson. I don't think I can put a number on it, the number of times, particularly when I was full-time in radio. I had him on the show, and I like him as an individual. I don't know, however, where he's getting his advice from, who's running the campaign. Any idea, Marty, if Uncle Roy is handling the gubernatorial campaign for Dr. Shawn Wilson?
We might find out tomorrow.
Yeah, we'll find out tomorrow. Be sure to tune in to Fletch Nation because I'm sure he's going to have a lot to say about this. One thing I found particularly interesting and noticeably absent in the announcement, as a Democrat and particularly as a man of color, I thought it was really, really interesting that there was no mention of God in his announcement. Now, let me say for the record, as an American, I understand wholeheartedly, and I cherish the idea that you have the freedom to worship whatever it is you want, whatever religion, whatever God, or no God at all. As an American, that is your right. But I've found it noticeably absent that any reference to God was made in his announcement. And I read it 3 or 4 times, and then it occurred to me, well, maybe it's in the video that he releases. Because all the politicians now, when they announce, they come out with a real slickly produced video package saying, you know, who they are, what their plans are, yada, yada, blah, blah, blah. So I went to his video. No mention there. So then I went to Attorney General Jeff Landry's announcement and his video. In the first sentence, just an observation, Dr. Wilson, just an observation. In other very tragic news, it has happened again. Police arresting 40-year-old Tiffany Thomason Thursday of last week, months after her 2-year-old son died from a fentanyl overdose. According to local activist Tanja Miles, community advocate, this is the third young kid in our community in the last 12 months to die of a fentanyl overdose. At the time, the mother told officers that she had breastfed her child and put him to bed for a nap before he was found dead. When detectives interviewed the boy's father, there was a different story revealed, and as a result now, charges have been filed against the mother. You know, I don't know how many of our children, our young adults, and our adults are going to die from the scourge of fentanyl poisoning before we as Americans demand that something be done. We are all painfully aware of the amount of this drug that is coming across primarily our southern border. And for the life of me, and listen, y'all, I get it. I understand nowadays everything is political. I get it. But the fact of the matter is, and I don't have any numbers in front of me at this point to quantify it one way or another, but I've got to believe the majority of the 108,000 of our fellow Americans that died of a fentanyl overdose last year, a sizable percentage of them are people of color, people that look just like me. That same group of people also religiously, regularly vote Democrat. And with the Democrat in the White House, why in God's name all these Democrats are not demanding that Joe Biden and Kamala Harris do something about our southern porous border and all these deadly chemicals, drugs coming into our country is beyond me. I don't get how Democrats, black people in particular, are not up in arms over this. Right here in the capital city of Baton Rouge, it was announced just last week, in the last brief year, enough fentanyl was seized to kill outright the entire Tiger Stadium. If that doesn't disturb you and make you want to get off your you-know-what and start calling your elected representatives and letting these people know that it's long past time we end this, I don't know what will. But of course, many of you, and y'all not gonna like it, but that's okay. It ain't the first time, it won't be the last. Many of y'all are so busy demonizing conservatives, demonizing Republicans, that apparently it's never crossed your mind to get upset about a current administration that is allowing this stuff into our country and killing people by the hundreds of thousands. At some point, y'all, we have to realize God has blessed us to live in this country. of all the places you could have been born, he saw fit to allow you to be an American with the rights, the freedoms, and the liberties. And you are sitting by idly watching this, allowing this to happen without using your voice to register your displeasure? Now that I think about it, maybe, just maybe, we'll have to wait until somebody in your family dies from it. And maybe then you'll decide to get involved. Just an observation. Finally, speaking of Louisiana news, I don't know what these people were thinking. Well, wait, let me back that bus up. I know what they were thinking. But at the end of the day, they are getting their just desserts. Have you seen this story out of Iberville Parish? A murder trial taking place there. And 3 people have now been arrested. A 4th is being sought for illegally filming via cell phone the testimony of witnesses in the murder trial and then posting it on social media. That is as illegal as the day is long. And I've got to imagine that there have to be signs posted somewhere in the courthouse that says cell phone usage and cameras are not allowed. And the scary part here is it's for a murder trial. So just imagine friends of the accused seeing on social media, oh, so here's who gave police information, here's who gave the courts information, and typically, you know what potentially could happen after that. I am hoping that they not only throw the book at these individuals, throw the bookcase that the books are in. Throw it all. Because this sort of behavior cannot be tolerated in a system that understands jurisprudence and justice. It cannot be allowed to stand. What they were thinking, God only knows. But it comes to mind the segment that Richard Pryor did many, many years ago, decades ago, in one of his stand-up routines, where he said, you know, I visited prison not too long ago to go and talk with the inmates and so on and so forth. And after talking with them, I came away thinking, thank God we got jails and prisons. It's made for people like this. Who in their right mind does not know you cannot go in and record on video or audio for that matter proceedings in a murder trial and then go and post it to social media? Hopefully, these 3 will learn a very painful lesson, as will the 4th, whenever that person is arrested. First break of today's show. It is Tuesday, second segment, so you know what that means, right? It is time for another illustrious edition of Now That's Just Stupid. That's next when we continue the Tuesday edition of the Clarence Bug Show, only on the Pelican. Stay close.
Hi, I'm Bobby Yarborough with Manda Fine Meats. Here at Manda, we know what the folks of South Louisiana love. They love great flavored smoked sausage, delicious deli meats, and specialty items like boudin and andouille sausage. Manda Fine Meats has been providing these products since 1947. We produce them right here in Baton Rouge, so you know you're always getting the freshest product at your local grocery store. Manda Fine Meats. Taste the fresh local flavor in everything we make. Make it Manda every time.
Hey everybody, I'm Kevin Gallagher. This is Roy Fletcher. We hope you'll join us for Fletch Nation, especially if you like talking politics.
Hey, come and join us. We'll give you the information, and then we'll give you the context. And by the way, we'll give you fun, too.
Lots of fun. We hit the local races, the state. We even look at what's going on all across America. And by the way, this space is available. If you'd like to talk about advertising, send your emails to Roy Fletcher at royfletcher.com and join us every week here on the Pelican for Fletch Nation.
I owed the IRS $10,000.
The IRS garnished my wages.
They put a lien on my house.
I'm self-employed and didn't report all my income. They claim I owe a lot more than I do.
The IRS is the most powerful collection agency in the world. They do not give up until you pay.
I couldn't sleep. We were being audited. I called Tax Solutions Now, and a great big weight was lifted off my shoulders.
I called Tax Solutions Now, and they got the IRS off my back.
Tax Solutions Now had my wage garnishment lifted in 48 hours.
Tax Solutions Now can get you help. Our agents know the rules, can stop the pain, and get you the best deal.
Tax Solutions Now saved my business.
I qualified for the Fresh Start program. I paid less than I owed.
We connect you with a team of former IRS agents and tax professionals who get the IRS off your back. Time is running out. Call Tax Solutions now.
Call 800-778-4345. 800-778-4345.
The season of inspiration is the perfect time to discover the enhanced Mazda CX-5, named a 2022 IIHS Safety Pick Plus Award winner, its highest safety award honor. Choose from over 45 CX-5s available at Baton Rouge's Mazda dealer, Team Mazda on Airline.
Hi gang, Clarence Bugs here, inviting you to come by Old School Barbecue, 10655 Coursey Boulevard, where we tape the show live every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday at 11 o'clock. Come by and feast on news, sports, current events, love of God and country, and lots of common sense, along with some of the best barbecue anywhere on the planet. 10655 Coursey Boulevard, Old School Barbecue, home of the Clarence Bugs Show.
Live and play on the fairway at Greystone Golf and Country Club, a serene, challenging golf destination located in Denham Springs. For tee times and membership opportunities, go to GreystoneCountryClub.com.
Welcome back to the Tuesday edition of the Clarence Bugs Show. If you are unaware by chance, every second segment of the Tuesday edition of the Clarence Bugs Show, we dedicate to the level of stupidity that is rapidly expanding in our country. We are not, however, talking about the stupid that you grew up with. Way to go, Marty. It is an increasingly exponential amount of stupidity. And as a result, we came to the conclusion we need to come up with a new word to explain the level of stupid we're talking about. Hence, you see the spelling on your screen, STOOPID, as in, now that's just stupid. We start with a new poll that shows 80% of Americans feel companies need to stay out of politics and pushing the woke agenda. Apparently, Hershey's, the candy company, didn't get the memo. So last week, to usher in International Women's Day, Hershey's decided to release some candy bars, and you knew where this was going when on the candy bar it said her, one word, dash she, as in Hershey candy bars. You knew it was coming. To celebrate International Women's Day and International Women's Month, they decide to put on the candy bar a biological male who identifies as a woman. How insulting can you be to real women? So now, trending is hashtag boycott Hershey's. So just on a whim, after saying to myself, you know what, enough's enough. I am not going to spend another penny of my money on their products. So I went to Hershey's, the website, and found out every single candy bar they make. And I have vowed, never again. No more Reese's peanut butter cups, no more M&M's, Zagnut, candy bar, the whole nine. Hershey's Kisses, none of that. If you care that little about women, God only knows what you think about the rest of my fellow Americans. Hershey. So, I'm done. I'm done. Pure and simple. Speaking of insulting women, have you seen this one? The Toronto Raptors NBA franchise recently decided, in anticipation of International Women's Day and Women's Month, that they were going to get on the bandwagon. So they asked 3 of their players to expound upon why, quote, women rule the world. It is a play on the song, I understand, by Beyonce, that women rule the world, or girls rule the world, whatever the song is. As you could probably imagine, your buddy Clarence is not a Beyonce fan, but I digress. I'll leave that to Marty. So the Raptors ask 3 of their players, why is it that women rule the world? And of course, one of them said, well, it's because they're the only ones who can procreate. They birth all living human beings. And you know what happened after that, right? Yeah. The wokesters, the mob of the left, started raising holy hell. How dare you say women are the only ones that can have birth, give birth to children? Excuse me? And of course, after all of this furor erupted, the Toronto Raptors then decided, well, we need to come out with a statement to explain what happened here. Quote, we're an organization that prides itself on doing the right thing when it comes to inclusion and representation. And we made a mistake Tuesday. Our sincerest apologies to our players, our staff, and our fans. We will work to do better today and every day after. So how about you apologize to women for this farce that you have perpetrated? And y'all have to wonder why I have washed my hands of the NBA? Y'all have to wonder why I've washed my hands of NASCAR? You have to wonder why I can't remember the last NFL game I've watched? To heck with these people. You want to be stupid? Well, you do it on your own, but not including me. Forget about it. Finally, speaking of stupid, how this guy ever got so far on ESPN. Of course, they were woke too, but he was way woke before woke. Keith Olbermann coming out now and saying, you know what, Ron DeSantis, you're a dictator, you're a tyrant, telling Disney what they can or cannot do in Florida. Well, Disney needs to pack up and move everything someplace else, either the Carolinas or Puerto Rico. Let's see. Disney has invested, I don't know, $1 cajillion in Disney World. They are building stuff as we speak. But you think, oh, and I forgot, not only should Disney World pack up everything they have and move either to the Carolinas or Puerto Rico, after they move, whatever's left, set fire to it and burn it all down. I guess we now have confirmation on why people with a brain look at Keith Olbermann the way we do. Stupid, stupid, stupid. And for a company that has already invested, I don't know, $1 cajillion into building stuff, they are building stuff as we speak. Move it to Puerto Rico? Really? You often hear us conservatives say, liberals destroy everything they touch. Here's more proof. How many people do you know, particularly in the Joe Biden, Kamala Harris economy, that could afford to go to Puerto Rico just to go to Disney World? And this guy was one of the superstars of ESPN. Of course, that says a lot about ESPN, and we all know how they have exposed themselves to being the wokety woke crowd that they are. I was tempted for just a second to say, of all the stupid people I know, I would at least think Olbermann would have a little economic sense to know just how stupid what he's recommending is. But after thinking about it, nah, not that idiot, not that clown. Move it to the Carolinas or Puerto Rico and then burn everything down and let Ron DeSantis watch as it crumbles into ashes. So what about all those people that work there? They're going to move to Puerto Rico too? Or would you rather kick Americans out of those jobs and let the Puerto Ricans run Disney World? Just when you thought Keith Olbermann could not get any more stupid, just wait. Let him open his mouth. It's coming. Bottom of the hour break. When we come back, I guess we'll call this segment Enough with the Box Checkers. You are not going to believe this, but then again, it's the Biden-Harris administration, and they are certainly no strangers to stupid. That's next, when we continue the Tuesday edition of the Clarence Bugg Show, only on the Pelican. Stay close.
Got termites? Get Premier Pest. PremierPestServices.com.
You could be driving a... Now's the time to save on new Accords during Happy Honda Days at Team Honda of Acadiana. Get our lowest prices and biggest savings on our largest selection of Accords this year. Hurry in and save during Happy Honda Days at Team Honda of Acadiana, I-49 just south of Opelousas.
Hi, I'm Katie, Operation Manager here at Old School Barbecue. We're excited about all of the changes here at Old School, and we'd like to invite everyone to come out and enjoy some delicious barbecue at Old School prices. We feature brisket, chicken, ribs, sausage, and the Boss Hog pulled pork sandwich voted best deal in town. We also have live music Friday and Saturday from 7 to 10 p.m. 10655 Coursey Boulevard. We can't wait to see you.
Hello guys, it's Debbie. It's time. I've got a brand new location. 10510 Airline Highway, Baton Rouge, next to After 5 Tuxedos. We have the perfect spot to get all your wedding and formal wear needs. Come see our one-of-a-kind name brand and get great prices. With 30 years experience, the best customer service anywhere. It's Debbie's Bridal, Airline Highway, Baton Rouge. See you soon.
Hi, I am Dr. Farrell Frugier Jr., and I am a general dentist at Frugier Family Dentistry. I was born and raised in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. I went to Catholic High School, LSU, and LSU School of Dentistry in New Orleans, where I received my DDS degree in 1986. I always have and will continue to be committed to continuing my education, to invest in technology which makes the diagnosis and delivery of dentistry more thorough, more comfortable, and more aesthetically pleasing. In our practice, we are here to serve the patients. We want to improve their quality of life and to develop relationships with our patients. In dentistry, we have a chance to impact lives on a daily basis, not just by doing dentistry, but by getting to know them and being a part of their life. We also believe in giving back to our community. So every year, we give back to the Greater Baton Rouge Food Bank, Toys for Tots, and Mary Bird Perkins Cancer Center. Please stop by and visit our office. We would love to take care of you and your family.
Caught spiders. Premier Pest Services.
Welcome back to the Tuesday edition of the Clarence Bug Show. I want to entitle this segment, Enough with the Box Checkers. Have you noticed the Biden-Harris administration, in an effort to pursue their agenda of diversity, equity, and inclusion, has hired some of the most incapable individuals you've ever seen in life? Look at Karine Jean-Pierre, White House press secretary, or the binder, as she's called by the media. Cannot answer the most basic of questions without first flipping through the binder to find the answer. But she's an immigrant, she's black, she's a female, and more important, she's gay. So we got to check off all the boxes. Never mind the fact that she is totally and completely incompetent at her job. But you got to check off the boxes. Pete Buttigieg, head of transportation in this country. Well, he's gay, so we get to check off the box. Totally, completely incompetent. Then there's the guy that they put second in command in charge of disposing of nuclear waste. You know the guy who dresses up like a woman and steals people's luggage and their clothes from airports. Yeah, that sounds like the guy I'd want second in charge in the entire freaking country for disposing of nuclear waste. Well, now we come up with the latest box checker from the Biden-Harris administration. The Federal Aviation Administration, also known as the FAA, It's time for a new guy or girl to be put in charge of air traffic in America. Commercial flights, drones, I would imagine military aircraft too when they are flying in commercial airspace. All of this is regulated by the Federal Aviation Administration. So the Biden-Harris administration this week presented their new nominee to be in charge of air safety in America. You already know where this is going, right? This guy knows absolutely nothing about aviation. He's a perfect candidate for the job. Oh, did I mention he's black? So since he's black, well, we get to check off that box. But Mr. President, he knows absolutely nothing about aviation. Well, we're not going to worry about all of that because, after all, he's black. That's all we're worried about. Well, here's a news flash for you. Black people fly on airplanes also. And we are concerned about safety every time we get on the freaking airplane. White liberals, let me do y'all a big favor and help y'all out. Stop with this crap. When I get on a plane, I don't care who the pilot slept with. I don't care what the pilot identifies as. All I want is somebody who can fly the freaking plane, take off, and land. That's all I want. So this clown goes before the Senate to be confirmed, and Phil Washington, the appointee, nominee, had the misfortune of running into Senator Ted Budd from North Carolina. This guy gets it. He understands, okay, if you're nominated to be the head of the Federal Aviation Administration, let's find out how much you know about aviation. I mean, after all, you are going to be in charge of keeping Americans safe as they fly around the country and around the world. First question. What airspace requires an ADS-B transponder? That's the, you know, the transponder, that's the thing. I couldn't resist that one. Y'all forgive me. I couldn't resist that one. The transponder is what allows you to be in communication with airports. They can figure out what altitude you're in, what your speed is, when you're expected to land. That way we don't have planes all on top of each other and disasters all over the skies. His response? Not sure I can answer that question. Okay, well, here's another. What are the 6 types of special use airspace that appear on charts by the FAA? Response. Sorry, Senator, I cannot answer that question. So he moves on to the next question. What are the operational limitations of a pilot flying under basic med? Y'all gonna love this one. Y'all gonna love this one. Senator, I'm not a pilot. Senator Budd. But obviously you would oversee the Federal Aviation Administration. So do you have any idea what the restrictions are under basic med? Here it comes. Well, some of the restrictions, I think, would be high blood pressure. Some of them would be, and the senator immediately cuts him off. No, that's not what flying under basic med refers to. It's more involving how many passengers per airplane, how many pounds the plane can carry, what altitude you can fly under, and what amount of knots, under 250 or so. It has nothing to do with blood pressure. And you're going to put this guy in charge of the Federal Aviation Administration? Well, but see, Clarence, you didn't mention that he ran the bus system in Denver. Yeah, the same one that came under investigation for all the corruption? That one? Oh, well, in that case, he'd fit in fine with the Biden-Harris administration. You would dare insult the American public by putting a guy in charge of the Federal Aviation Administration that knows absolutely nothing about aviation. I said it before, I'll say it again. How many of you would feel okay when you get on the plane and there's the pilot and the co-pilot, they're standing there at the cockpit door, and you look up and see they look like you, whether they're Asian, African American, whatever. And you go, phew, okay, got a brother on this flight just like me. And you ask him, what's our airspeed today? When we're expected to land? What's going to be our cruising altitude? And he can't answer any of that. How many of you would be comfortable getting on that plane? But don't worry, you can all relax because they checked off the box. Diversity, equity, and inclusion. Okay? Sounds noble. We want to be sure that everybody's included. Okay, it's America. I can see that. But shouldn't you also make sure that the person in charge knows at least a little something about the agency he's in charge of? Not if you're Joe Biden or Kamala Harris, apparently. Look at the track record, y'all. Pete Buttigieg. Supply chain crisis. I went to a store just the other day. Pretty much empty. Shelves bare. So I asked, well, why are all your shelves empty? Well, they still hadn't solved the supply chain crisis. But he's gay, so there you go. Sam Brinson, actually had the job, second in charge of disposing of the nation's nuclear waste. And he's on social media with a mustache and lipstick and dresses that he stole. Are you starting to see a pattern here? Listen, y'all, I'm all for everybody being able to work in whatever field they want to. But for God's sake, make sure they're qualified. Is that too much to ask? To make sure that they're qualified? And you know what's so ironic here? These are the same people, the LGBTQ XMNOP LYZ crowd, that will tell us in a heartbeat, it's not your business who I sleep with. But you're the one telling everybody. You ever notice that? And just so you know, liberals, being gay is not a qualification for a damn thing. Just so you know. It's experience and training. That's all we're concerned about. And the sooner we get back to that, the better and the safer our country is going to be. Final break of today's show. When we come back, the end of an era. I'm heartbroken over this, but it's a part of the natural cycle of life. The final, original, founding member of Leonard Skinner passes away. We'll pay a little tribute when we come back for the final segment of today's edition of the Clarence Bugg Show. Stay close.
You can't smell it, but you can almost taste it. And whether it's for a family get-together or a game day feast, having Manda in the mix always sounds good. For 3 generations, their quality meats and original seasonings have made Manda a Louisiana legend and made their family sausage Louisiana's family sausage. Manda Fine Meats, the flavor says it all.
Every great story starts with the rush of thrilling gaming action. Handcrafted flavors, eager to please. Getaways for some well-deserved me time. And rewards worth bragging about. If it's a story worth telling, it starts at La Berge Baton Rouge. What's your story?
Treads & Care Tire Company announces its new location on Hooper Road in Central. Locally owned for 50 years, Treads & Care is known for quality automotive repair with top-notch customer service. Treads & Care offers the convenience of shuttle service and pickup and delivery of your vehicle. You can also enjoy the comfortable customer area, complete with workstations, high-speed internet, and a complimentary coffee bar.
I'd like to invite you to come out and see us at our new location in Central.
Treads & Care, the tires you need and the service you want.
Live and play on the fairway at Greystone Golf and Country Club, a serene, challenging golf destination located in Denham Springs. For tee times and membership opportunities, go to GreystonecountryClub.com.
Tremonti's has meat. Tremonti's has seafood. Tremonti's has much more. Tailgating and home gating platters. Huge wine and liquor selection. Beer and all the spices you need. Chairman Reserve and Wagyu meats. Ribeye rolls, shrimp rolls, kebabs. 20 flavors of sausage for the grill. Daily lunch specials and game processing. On-site catering also available. Good meat ain't cheap and cheap meat ain't good. Visit Tremonti's.com.
Sometimes life is wonderful, and sometimes it's not. Cherish the good, but always be prepared for life's challenges. At Private Healthcare, we provide the peace of mind you deserve. With Private Healthcare, you'll get the coverage you want and healthcare you need. If your employer doesn't supply healthcare coverage and you don't qualify for Medicare or Medicaid, you need to give us a call right now. Private Healthcare is private health insurance for ages 65 and under with medical, dental, vision, and even prescription coverage. When life comes at you unexpectedly, you need to be ready. And health insurance is your financial safety net. Health insurance has never been so easy and affordable. If you're looking for health coverage at the best price and your annual household income is $35,000 or more, call the number on the screen now and speak with a live healthcare consultant. Don't wait. Get the coverage you need now.
Welcome back for the final segment of the Tuesday edition of the Clarence Bugg Show. You know, it is a natural part of life, the cycle of life, that the older you get, you start to entertain your own mortality. And you understand full well that things run in cycles. It is as clear an example of God's infinite wisdom that you will ever encounter. It's designed that parents are not supposed to bury their children. Children are supposed to bury their parents. That's how it's designed to work. So you understand at some point in life that things that you cherished, things that helped to form you into the individual that you are, those things are going to change because they were founded by, started by human beings. And God in his infinite wisdom tells us in his word, 70, and if by reason of health and strength, 80 years. That's pretty much what your lifespan is going to be, give or take, X amount of years. I was saddened deeply this weekend when it was announced that the last remaining founding member of Lynyrd Skynyrd, Gary Rosington, passed away at the age of 71. I was telling a couple of guys here at Old School a few minutes ago, I never had a nickname. I guess most people figured Bugs was screwed up enough. We don't need to give this guy a nickname. Many of them probably thought Bugs was my nickname. Certainly, nobody has Bugs as a name, but there it is, right there. But I've always said, if I could give myself a nickname, it would have been Freebird. Now, for those of you that have no idea who Lynyrd Skynyrd is or what Freebird is, that's why there's the internet. Last night, as I'm contemplating doing a tribute to Skynyrd, and you cannot be from Baton Rouge, be a rocker. I'm a jazz guy, but I grew up playing instruments. So I appreciate musical talent regardless of what the genre of music is. Well, maybe with the exception of country, but I listen to some of that too. Found an amazing country song this weekend by Adam, oh man, I forget his last name. Somewhere Cool with You. Anywhere Cool with You is the name of the song. Check it out on YouTube. Amazing country song, but I digress. You could not be from Baton Rouge, be a fan of rock music, particularly Southern rock, and not have that heartfelt connection to Lynyrd Skynyrd. Members of the band dying in a tragic airplane crash as they were coming to Baton Rouge for a concert. And as a result of that, appreciating music, particularly appreciating great musicians, I've always had that connection with Lynyrd Skynyrd. And good God, the first time I heard Freebird, my head has not been the same since then. And no, I wasn't the only black person that liked Freebird. I had a very dear friend, I don't know where she is now, alive or deceased, that was a disc jockey on FM 102. Lanita Lenoir called herself the Night Flower on, what is FMF? Yeah, FMF, FM 102.5, yeah. She was a DJ on weekends, sister, black girl. And she would play Freebird every weekend. So when I heard about the passing of Gary Rosington, I'm saying I need to do some kind of tribute to this guy. So I go to YouTube, right? And I pull up Lynyrd Skynyrd Freebird. All of the concert footage from years gone by. Now, if you don't know the story behind Skynyrd, just about any concert you see them at, there's a huge rebel flag on stage. So I'm saying immediately, nope, can't use that one. Can't use that one. So I go to the next one. Sure enough, huge rebel flag on the stage as a backdrop. Went to the next one. Here's a rebel flag bandana tied around the lead singer's microphone. And I'm saying to myself, I don't have the time nor the inclination to explain to the people, Clarence, how could you dare like a band that had a rebel flag on the background? This was not about slavery, y'all. This was about being rebels. If I had been blessed to go to a Leonard Skinner concert, I would have been a rebel. I'd have been the gnat in the glass of milk and would have had a hell of a concert, would have had a hell of a time. But I'm used to that. I don't let people dictate to me what I should like, what I should appreciate, what I should support. I make that decision for myself. And as a guy that grew up playing in garage bands, as a guy that grew up playing instruments, I appreciate talent. And I believe in supporting it. I'll never forget, back when it was the Riverside Centraplex, went to see Hart. Ann and Nancy, two girls, formed the rock group Hart. 3 black people in the whole Riverside Centraplex. Yours truly, one of my 2 best friends in life, and the girl that I was dating at the time. Had an absolutely wonderful time. People were so happy to see. We were like all just brothers and cousins coming to see a good show. But here's what I want you to do. And this, in searching for a way to give a tribute to Gary Rossington, I started looking for stuff. Couldn't find anything that y'all brainwashed folks would be comfortable watching. I want you, when you get time, go to YouTube and look up on YouTube Reaction Montage. Leonard Skinner, Freebird, first time compilation. Reaction Montage. Leonard Skinner, Freebird, first time compilation. They have about 15 or 20 young black people, males, females, gauging their reaction to hearing Freebird for the first time. These young brothers and sisters are rocking like the biggest metalheads you have ever seen in your life. And we all know music is the international language, but for them to care enough about good music to expose themselves to it and enjoy it said to me, maybe there's hope for us after all. Time's up, y'all, and I gotta go. Marty's panicking. I got you, bruh. I got you. This day, just like any other, I give it to you. You know what? You're right. America, we're not perfect. But for this old boy's money, it's the best there is, and God knows there's no place else on his green earth that I'd rather be. Speaking of the good Lord, you realize he loves you, right? And I hope you know that I do too. Best news you gonna get all day, son. There ain't a doggone thing you can do about either one. We'll see you soon. God bless.